Hello everybody, we're here at North Wilkesboro Speedway with Peyton Sellers, who just capped off his 7th, I believe, South Boston Championship season. But you're here with the Cars Store at North Wilkesboro, a place we don't normally see. So first and foremost, what brings you out here?
Man, I just trying to, get better every week, and coming out here and racing with these guys definitely makes you better. We're kind of wrapped up with some of our NASCAR stuff, and the opportunity to come out and race on a weekend. So beautiful weather here, good car count, very stiff competition for sure. So just a great opportunity to kind of cap off our year and try to have a good run here at Wilkesboro.
So, a lot of people wonder, guys like you especially, why you guys don't commit to a touring series full-time. You guys run the local stuff. So what are your plans possibly for the future? Like, do you have an idea of what you want to do with the Car Store? And maybe explain to people why you haven't to this point.
Well, they've got a really good thing going. It's probably the most competitive series going right now in the country for sure. And it's just a financial thing. Honestly, we can go race 30 or 40 late model stock races for what it takes to race, a 15 race Car Store series. So it's just expensive. It's a lot of travel. It's hotel rooms. It's commitment from my guys. We've got guys that work full-time jobs that, they can work all day Friday and go race with us, whether it be Dominion or South Boston or wherever on any given weekend. So when you have to load up and go to Florence and go to places and travel and take time off work, it just makes it hard. So very expensive series to run, but we enjoy racing with them, no doubt about it. And it's nothing that, the competition's there, the competitors are there. It's just it's a financial thing. We've got sponsors, Clarence's Steakhouse and Danville Toyota, that have been with us for a long time. We've got sponsors, Davenport Energy, that's been with us, and they're with us because we race in South Boston and local. So when we go to Florence, they don't sell any products. So it's just a nuts and bolts thing for us, just being able to provide a service to our sponsors locally. Driving 30 miles down the road to go race in South Boston versus having to travel 4 or 5 hours to go race at a track where you might not have sponsorship for that particular track.
Right, and some people may not know, racing isn't your full-time job. You are actually a business owner as well. So how do you balance your life in racing and your life outside of racing and being successful in both fields?
Just having a strong wife that supports us and sticks it out with us, and having my brother prepare the cars, and my mom and dad work there in a business with us, and they allow us to be able to go race on the weekends, covering for us at work. And I've got good employees and good people behind me that allow us to be able to do that. But it's tough. You got to work 50 or 60 hours a week to prepare to go race on the weekend. So it's just part of it. It's part of life for us, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
And kind of on that same front, there's people who are new to the grassroots world that may not understand that aspect of it, that you guys aren't racing for your full-time job. So if you were talking to a new fan today, how would you explain the difference between what you guys have to do here and the NASCAR life?
At this level, you see what passion's all about. You see these racers out here, none of them are getting rich doing it at this level. It's whether it's a melting pot. You've got guys that are trying to move up the ladder and prove themselves here at this level, and you've got guys that have been up and come back and are comfortable racing here every week because they can afford to do it and generate sponsorship to be able to do it. And, it's just, this is where you see, this is what true grassroots racing actually means. This is where you see how important it is to have volunteer guys working on the cars throughout the week, late at night, working on cars, getting ready, and just, this is what it's all about. You see guys here that stay here for a long time because they're passionate about it. When you move up to the upper divisions, you have a very short career. Most everybody does. You've got, a handful of guys that can make a 15 or 20-year career, but at the end of the day, this is where people settle in and race. And, you can't be rough. You can't take a guy out because you're going to probably race with him the next 4 or 5 years in a row. So it's just part of it. And this is what short track racing is all about.
Many years ago, you actually had your own stint in NASCAR. You ran some nationwide series races as it was at the time. When you look back on that, is there anything you wish you had done differently, and are you content with how that played out?
Yeah, we just played the hand that we were dealt. I never got an opportunity to sit in very well-funded cars. We had a great opportunity to race a lot, and it was good. I enjoyed doing every minute of it, the traveling and part of it, but it's all about the right opportunity at the right time. It's so hard to make it at that next level. It's not necessarily talent-based. It's all, sponsorship and partnership-based, and there's so many of these guys out here that are talented enough to go race at the upper levels, but just never had the cards line up at the right time at the right place. So, you're not going to perform at a high level every single week at late model stock racing, and it's a matter of putting together consistent years and being there in and out. And if you do get that shot up at the next level, just having everything play out just the right time.
Just another interesting thing I wanted to ask you. Lee Pulliam came back and ran Martinsville. There was once upon a time that as a team owner, you fielded cars for both him and Philip Morris. So there was a story that came out this summer about their rivalry. What was it like for you as a team owner at that time, having both those guys in your stable?
Well, it was good there for a little while. I wasn't racing in the late models every weekend then, and we were able to assist with them. HC was crew chief in one of them, and we had guys in the shop maintaining the cars and keeping them up, and it just, anytime you get two bulls in the same stable, it usually doesn't work out. And there were several times where Lee's frustration run over, and honestly, he just crashed Phillip a few times, and they made up and got through it and worked out. And Lee was that young, eager driver trying to make it to the next level, and Phillip was that seasoned veteran that would get on your last nerve, because every time you turn around, you think you got him beat, he comes back knocking on the rear door. So it was just racing at its best, and it's just part of it. And they get along now, but when that was going on, they wasn't talking too much. And the stories that I seen posted this summer really wasn't accurate of what was going on at the time when it was being done. But now looking back, they're mutual with each other now. But at the time, there was not a lot of hard, lost feelings for each other. So that's the way it goes. And Lee was putting up big numbers. Phillip was putting up big numbers at the time, and it just it's hard to have two superstars running out of the same shop for us. And it finally came to a boiling point there at South Boston, and a couple different times when Lee just kind of had all he could take and retaliated. So it's just it's racing, right? I tell everybody, in racing, it's one of those sports where it brings out the worst in people all the time. So it does, I hear people say, "Oh, that brings out the best in people." Not racing. Racing brings out the worst, right? We put so much into it, we put so much blood and sweat and tears into it, and we put so many financial obligations and time away from our family to go out and race. And when you have your car get tore up and you have things go south, it's easy to get very emotional about it, and that's what but that's also what makes it so good.
And final question for you. This is the end of the Cars Tour season. South Boston's already wrapped up. There's a few other late model stock races going on to end the year. What are your plans for 2025, if you have any that you can share?
We're just going to keep doing the same thing we've been doing. I'm very fortunate. I've got a good group of guys behind me to support us. We've got good people all the way around us as far as partnerships and teammates and things like that. And we're going to come back to South Boston to race. We're going to try to run a few Cars Tour races along the way and try to run for the Triple Crown again and just see how it goes.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.
Hey race fans, I'm Chase Folsom with Frontstretch.com. If you enjoyed the short track video you just watched, please be sure to subscribe to Frontstretch Grassroots on YouTube for more Cars Tour, ARCA, and other grassroots racing content. Check out Frontstretch.com for all your racing needs.